Shalom.
Shalom, family.
I am just, right now, I don't know what words that I can actually say to describe the foolishness that I am seeing. I mean, I just cannot believe it. Tell them about this story about the woman who, the weave story.
Well, you know what's a trip is that ain't the only one. I saw something that actually said this is the second weave murder in a short period of time. I'll tell you right now, our people, I mean, the scripture talks about all this stuff. We're not surprised. We're not surprised at all. When we say we can't believe it, we're just saying that it's such a shame that someone's life is only worth a bundle of weave to another person. It's a shameful thing for us as a nation. And the reason why I say it's shameful for us as a people, I can't say nation because I don't want people to be confused about what I'm talking about. We know that we are the nation of Israel. So when I say us as a nation, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm going to say us as a people because one thing that I noted when they were reporting on this story was they said this was so shocking to everyone. That it made nationwide news. Now there are some things that only stay local, and you might see it pop up on the internet because someone have shared the story. But this is so horrific and so tragic that it made nationwide news. You have these young 18, I think they were 18 years old, 18, 19-year-old black young women thugs who took it upon themselves to go to this man. No doubt they probably did business with him before, okay? And even if they didn't, maybe somebody else told them about him, and he was selling weave, okay? Now we have our opinions on weave that I really don't think our people should be wearing it or promoting it or pushing it or anything like that. That is beside the point, okay? Our people are willing to kill other people and think that somebody else deserves to die so that they can stitch some heathen hair on top of their dumb, stupid head.
You gotta die so I can look good.
I'm sorry, y'all, that slipped out, but that's one of those that really, you know, I had stopped doing videos for a while dealing with that kind of stuff because I felt like, look, we're about to do generational curses, that's enough, you know. But this one really, really bothered me because I looked at that couple. The woman, the wife was pregnant, the husband, they looked like a really good family.
It brought you out of your sabbatical, didn't it?
Yes, it brought me out, baby.
They did look like a very nice family. As a matter of fact, we're going to show the images so you can see it here.
But this is one of those that just really bothered me.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Yeah.
When you see things like this, you know, it's a reflection on all of us, believe it or not.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, because we don't have the luxury of being treated as individuals.
That's right.
When one person does a crime in the so-called black community, we all have done that crime.
Yeah.
You see, and that's the way they kind of do it. They kind of just lump us all together. We can't do them like that, though. But for the nation, for the whole country to say, we're going to stand up, we're going to take note of this. Because this is what, those young ladies had what they call a nigger moment. And for those of you who have seen the cartoon The Boondocks, they had a few episodes, I think, where they were talking about nigger moments. And they said that this is a perfectly good chance or opportunity to throw your life away.
Yeah.
And so those young ladies, the one who drove the getaway car, the one who pulled the trigger, they seized the day on that nigger moment. And they decided to take innocent people's lives so that they can wear some hair that came from the heathen. Now,
let me ask you this question, Ann. So now, you women out there that got this long flowing hair, and you walking around with this long flowing hair, y'all gotta be careful now. Cause somebody may just jump out the shadows and just grab you and just cut all your hair off your head. You know, it's crazy. I can't believe it that people are killing people for weave hair. Man.
Yeah, help us.
Yeah, help us. You know, a friend of mine, he called me up from Detroit, and he was telling me about some of the things that have just went down in Detroit over the last week. that was so horrific until I just couldn't believe it. I mean, he had me just shaking my head. Just, man, just horrific. You know, they killed, he said something about this one guy was popped up missing. And this was on my, like right down the street from my sister, you know, and in this neighborhood. And this guy was missing, and they found his body in the sewer. And he was apparently breaking in homes, and the guys found out he had broken their home. They got him, killed him, threw him down in the sewer, and left him there. You know, some strange story like that, you know. And then there's other stories too about girls getting killed and just all kinds of crazy stuff.
And the daughter?
Yeah, I was trying to remember that story. What was it?
They were in I forget the place. They were in some type of public place.
Yeah.
And these men saw this woman just stabbing another woman.
Oh, this one here just did this. Oh man, he said at this it was a job, actually on the job, that they looked up and this lady just came, this girl out of nowhere, just started stabbing this lady like crazy. So this guy who carries a weapon pulled his weapon out and to get her to stop. And he wasn't supposed to have his weapon on him on the job. He has a license to carry one, but he ain't supposed to carry it on the job. He ended up getting fired for that too.
Trying to break up a murder.
Trying to break up a murder, right? Stop a murder. So anyway, he pulled the gun out and the girl stopped stabbing the girl, and only to find out that it was her mother she was stabbing on the workplace. Whew, that is crazy.
One day, this was a few years ago, we were on YouTube, and we decided to see what was going on in Detroit, our old stomping ground.
Yeah.
And I think after a couple of hours of looking at some old Detroit news, we were so drained and so beat that we said, you know what, I can't do this no more. I can't even look at the Detroit news, because it was murder after murder after murder after crazy murder after crazy murder.
Yeah.
And that's why they call it the Murder City.
Murder City.
You know, there was a documentary someone produced, and in the documentary, the guy said, if you come to Detroit, you give us half a chance, we gonna kill your so-and-so. He actually said that in the video.
So you give us half a chance, we'll do it.
And I'm like, and see, we lived there before, so we know he ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying. He is not fabricating that.
Yeah.
We have been both victims of crimes in Detroit. You can look at somebody wrong in Detroit, and that could cost you your life.
Yeah.
There's some serious principalities over that place.
Sure is.
And we don't mean anything against some of y'all who still live there, because we lived there too at one time. We're just talking about what's going on in the hood.
See, I've been at gunpoint at least 3 or 4 times and shot at in Detroit. At least 3 or 4 times, you know what I mean? And so I'm telling you, it's wild, you know, it's just wild. And there's just no way I would ever want to go back there. You know, just no way, too wild for me. Yeah, after my friend, he told me about all this. There was a couple of more cases he told me about too. I don't quite remember them right now. They were really bad though. But the stuff that's going on in these big cities, I'm gonna tell you this: the scripture said, "Perilous times gonna come." Right?
Perilous times are here.
Those of you that are in the cities and you in the middle of this stuff, I pray that the Most High give you grace and keep you, and that some of you will be able to come out of some of these places and come out to more rural areas where it's more relaxed, and you ain't got to deal with this crazy crime stuff. You know.
That's why we got to get our minds right.
Yep.
I want to say this before we go on this video, that some of us, we have family members who would probably take you in if you would act right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of us don't know how to act.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to act. Somebody will lend you some gracious kindness and help and support.
Yeah.
And some of us will stab our own family members in the back.
Yeah.
And it's sad when you can't turn to your family because they can't trust you.
Yeah.
You see, that's a very sad thing. And I know it's a part of the curses, but I don't like to lean on the curses all of the time because we can choose not to be a mess.
Yeah, that's right.
We can choose. The scripture says, choose ye this day. But many of us choose to be dirty and rotten to the core.
And if you choose to do the right things, he said he'll bless you.
Yep.
Even as individuals, he'll bless you. You won't have to have the curse. You look around, people around you have them curses all on their life, but you won't have them on yours. You still be in the land of your captivity, which is a part of the curse. But you won't be, all of those other curses won't be all upon you, you know?
Now, don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
When we say we love our people, we do love our
do.
people, but it comes with conditions.
Yeah.
And those conditions are, as for me and my house, we gonna serve Yah.
Yahuwah, yep.
And if somebody don't want to serve the Most High, we don't want to have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
If people want to just live a certain way, you have to take on this attitude, because if you don't take on this attitude, you'll be surrounded by people who will get you in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
People who will do things. You got people letting family members come in, they molesting their children, stealing from them, robbing, selling or smoking drugs in their house, doing all kinds of things, bringing trouble to their door, causing the house to get shot up because they done hooked up with some gangbanger somewhere. So that love comes with condition. Okay?
Yep.
Meaning I will still love you, but sometimes it got to be from a distance if you don't want to do right and you don't want to be right and you don't want to live right. You know, there are too many stories that we know of personally in our own families or friends' families or other families. One my mom was telling me about, where this young man was so messed up in his stupid brain that he beat his own mother down.
Yeah.
You see, he beat his own mother down. And we hear and see those kind of things a whole lot. And so, yeah, love comes with condition. If you don't want to be right, just keep it moving.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to say
Shalom.
Shalom.